Friends, we are living in a law-governed universe. Nothing is accidental, incidental, or by chance. For every happening, there is a cause. So then we may call it the law of causation. There is a law of cause and effect, and accordingly it gives the results. The great nature working through many laws. Mainly we call it septenary laws, 7 great laws of nature. Number 1, the law of unity, the law of manifestation, the law of involution, the law of evolution, the law of karma, or we call it the law of causation, the law of incarnation, and the law of sacrifice, and finally the law of compassion. These great septenary laws are governing our life, and these 7 laws are further divided into sub laws. So there are countless laws which are governing our life. Today we are mainly concerned about the law of causation, the law of karma. Out of 7 great laws, septenary laws, if we can understand this law, which is a great law, the law of causation, the law of karma, which is governing our life, and whatever we are facing, glory and gloom, we are facing because of our own karma. No one has no power on this earth, no power on this universe has imposed anything on us, but we are in a state of condition, we are in a state of position for which we ourselves has created a cause. So this law of causation, when it deals with the material body, is a very simple law. It's not so much complicated. The law of cause and effect. Action and reaction, equal and opposite. So this is very simple. If you put a blow to a stone, it will give you back with the same power. You hit the stone or you hit the wall itself will give its back and you will be hurt in your hand. But when this law, which we call law of causation, is applicable to the living human being, living creatures, that it becomes more complicated, because then mere physical action is not the thing, but the intention behind that action, the motive, the mens rea. The intention, motive and mens rea, which is at the back of physical action, will determine whether it is a right action and wrong action. If it is done with the right intention, if it is done with love and compassion, it will be definitely a right action. But apparently, even if it appears a right action, but if at the background the intention is not right, the intention is not helping our fellow brothers, the intention is to harm some person, then it will become a wrong. Many persons are confused when they deal with this law of karma. They complain that so and so person is corrupt, so and so person is doing very harmful activities, but still he is prospering. He himself is a fraud, but he is prospering, he is happy. This can never be. It may be the error in our perception, because the law of nature is unfailing. We are not rightly perceiving that thing. It can never be that if you are harming a person and you can have happiness. Whatever you give to the universe, whatever you give to others, it will come back to you with the bonus. If you are giving happiness to others, the happiness will come back to you. If you are hurting someone, the pain and suffering will come back to you. It's a universal law. No one can break this. If you find it difficult while we are dealing with other persons in this universe or this earth, and we find that no, there is something wrong. So there is nothing wrong in the law of nature, but there is something is wrong with our understanding. It is said that man is his own absolute lawgiver, dispenser of glory and gloom to himself, decreer of his life, his reward and his punishment. So whatever glory and gloom we are facing, in whatever situation or conditions we have been put, it's our own creation. We may not remember, but in past we must have created some causes which have put ourselves in that miserable condition. So if we are happy, it means we have created that condition. If we are miserable, gloomy, depressive, feeling hurt, that means that our actions may not have been right in the past. Another thing is to be understood that the nature, though it appears that nature is punishing us, nature is putting us into very hard and suffering and miserable conditions, but the intention of the nature is not to punish us, but to reform us, so that we can learn our lesson. For example, if you are hurting someone, if you are giving suffering to someone, the suffering will come back to us. It's not tit for tat, but we must learn that if we give suffering to others, it's not a right action. So the law of nature, the law of causation or the karma, is not punishing us, but it's giving us the opportunity to reform ourselves, to correct ourselves, so that in future we may not suffer. So in place of gaining and grabbing, if we can start sharing and giving and happiness to others, then it will come back to us with the bonus and we will be more happy and will lead a pleasant life. So this is the crux of the law of nature. If we are suffering, if we have put so much effort and we have not got the desired result, it's not a fault of the nature, but there would have been some mistake, there would have been some lacuna, there would have been something wrong in our action. That's why we are not getting it, or we are getting suffering. So this is a very simple law, but it's very difficult to understand. If we can really understand even this one law, the law of causation, the law of action and reaction, the law of karma, we can lead a very happy life. There are many laws of nature, even if we do not understand them, but if we really understand this law of causation, law of karma, we can lead a happy life. So this is certain that whatever we do, it will be binding on us. The action or the karma is binding on us. If we are doing good work, good action, the good result will come. We are binding. It's a binding on us. We will have to face the good result. And if we are doing some wrong action, some bad action, it will also create bondage on us and we have to suffer. Now, the main thing is how to become free from this bondage of karma. This is another very serious and technical point. We have seen whatever we do, we are facing the same thing. As you do, as you sow, so shall you reap. It's a law of nature. Our every action will create a bondage on us. So if you are always performing good or right action, it will create a bondage on us. Of course, if you are performing right action, it will create a good bondage. It will create certain good conditions. We have to face it. If you are performing some wrong or bad action, it will create negative conditions in our life and we will suffer. But how to be totally free from this bondage of karma? This is the crux of the thing. We should understand this also. If I do certain action, then I have to suffer it because the result will come to me. I have done it with the sense of I, with the sense of separation, with the sense of ego. I have done it, I wanted it, I have done it, so I have to face the karma. If we understand this, that there is no such thing as separative self, there is no such thing as ego, it is an illusion. The life is one, the entire humanity, not only humanity, but the entire living creatures are sharing one and the same life. Life is one. Wherever it finds a material body, it creates a center, it creates a focus, it creates a contacting point there, and at that focus, at that center, at that contacting point, it's manifesting. So in fact, the focus or center, it appears to be as if it's separate from the another center and another focus. But these centers, countless centers which have been created in the limitless life, that life is one. If you can understand this, that there is no such thing as separative I, if I act in a way for the benefit of this separative self, separative I, with the selfish motive, then I will create a bondage. So with this understanding, if we can understand this fact, this reality, that I am not I am not separate, the ego is illusory, all life is one, then the whole existence is one. With this understanding, there is a natural flow of love and compassion. Then I do not act, but the actions or the karma is being done through me, through this body, through this center. If you can create that condition with this understanding that I am not separative I, this absence of, complete absence of separative self, complete absence of sense of separation, the ego, then there is no bondage, there is no suffering. It will not give, then you are free. The moment you feel that I am doing it, I have done it, whether it is a good karma or a bad karma, if there is a feeling that I have done it, I am doing it, then I have to face its consequences. If I want to escape from such consequences, good or bad, then I have to be in a state, non-doing state, akartapan ka bhav. I am not doing, but the work is being done through me. Good work is being done through me, through this body or through this center. If that understanding comes, then there is a wonderful state. I am happy. I am leading a pleasant and full, blissful life. So if you want to have that blissful life, if you want to have that blissful living, then we have to get rid of this separating ego, which is really illusion. So 2 points we have discussed today. One, that we are living in a law-governed universe. The law of cause and effect, law of causation, or you may call it law of karma, is applicable on us. Whatever we are doing, we have to face its consequences. If you are doing wrong, we will face the suffering. If you are doing right action, out of love and compassion, we will have the happiness. One thing. Secondly, we have also considered that how to get freedom from this bondage. If we can understand this I-ness, ego-ness, which is illusion, and we understand that I am not separate and this ego is completely melted or vanished, there is no such thing as idea, because limitation of the language, we have to use such word I, you and all these things, but in fact there is no such thing as I. If you understand that life is manifesting through this center, life is manifesting through that another particular center, life is one. If we understand that and we feel that I am not separate, but the actions are being done through this center, then I am in a blissful state. I am liberated. So some of the points I have discussed, you please consider it. If you feel it is useful, please live in your life. Thank you very much. We shall sit in silence for a couple of minutes and contemplate on these points which we have considered too. Thank you very much.